Welcome to the forefront of the global technology battlefield. Today, we uncover a seismic shift in the semiconductor industry that's sending shockwaves worldwide. Japan's recent decision to tighten the export of critical chip-making gear to China marks a turning point in the ongoing technology war. In the escalating technology war between the United States and China, Japan has joined forces with its allies to restrict exports of chip-making gear to China. This move gives the U.S. and its partners powerful new weapons to curb China's chip ambitions. The decision by Japan's trade ministry will require suppliers of 23 types of chip technology, including major companies like Tokyo Electron, Nikon, and Screen Holdings, to obtain government approval before exporting to countries like China. In this video, we will explore the implications of Japan's decision and its impact on the chip industry. While Japanese companies may not be as high profile as their US or Dutch counterparts, they play crucial roles in the semiconductor supply chain. These roles make them potential choke points against China in its efforts to build a domestic chip industry. For example, Screen Holdings is the leading producer of wafer cleaning equipment, while Lasertec is the sole supplier of machines needed to inspect designs for advanced chips using extreme ultraviolet lithography chipmaking. According to Chris Miller, an economic historian and author of Chip War, The Fight for the World's Most Critical Technology, the goal of Japan's new controls is to hinder Chinese firms' access to advanced chip-making tools. The intention is to make it more difficult for Chinese companies to manufacture advanced chips for artificial intelligence purposes. Slowing down China's tech development would help widen the gap between China's military capabilities and those of the US and its allies. Japan's decision to join the US and the Netherlands in restricting chip exports to China marks a significant expansion of the blockade. The restrictions cover the most advanced machines, including those that make logic chips at 16 nanometers or more advanced geometries. With Japan's participation, all major countries that produce chip-making equipment are now part of the China blockade. The three-country alliance's export curbs will have a substantial impact on China's ability to make and develop chips smaller than 16 nanometers. Analysts at research company Omdia predict that Japan's participation will do great harm to China's chip capabilities. As a result, China will be compelled to step up efforts to develop its own supplies of chip-making equipment and materials to achieve self-reliance. However, this process will take time and increase the cost of producing semiconductors for the Chinese market. Japan's stance on chip exports will likely result in lost sales for Japanese companies. For example, Nikon, which relies on strong demand for its immersion lithography machines in China, will need to revisit its China strategy. The company gets about 28% of its revenue from China and has been banking on Chinese demand to finance its next technological bet. The impact of Japan's chip curbs on earnings is currently being evaluated by Nikon. Japan is home to dominant manufacturers of photoresist coaters, developers, mask inspection equipment, silicon wafers, and fine chemicals needed for advanced chip production. These companies have grown alongside the Chinese economy, fueling their customers' technological ascent. However, the new export restrictions reset expectations for Japan's $30 billion semiconductor equipment making industry. Tokyo Electron, a major player in the chip-making industry, may see a drop in sales from mainland China. Bloomberg intelligence analysts Masahiro Wakasugi and Brian Moran estimate that the drop could range from 5 to 10 percentage points. Tokyo Electron will need to assess any new regulations and act accordingly. Implications for China's technological development. Historically, it has been challenging for countries like China to catch up in semiconductor technology due to the rapid improvement in processing power of rivals' integrated circuits. Japan's new restrictions on chip exports make it even more difficult for China to close the technology gap. Even if China develops its own chip technology, the standards will likely be completely different from those of the rest of the world. This could result in more costly chips that lower China's tech competitiveness. Japan's decision to join the US and the Netherlands in restricting chip exports to China has given the Allies powerful new leverage in the escalating chip war. Japanese companies play crucial roles in the semiconductor supply chain, making them potential choke points against China's chip ambitions. While the export curbs will have implications for Japanese companies and may lead to lost sales, the goal is to hinder China's access to advanced chip-making tools and slow down its tech development. As China aims to achieve self-reliance in chip-making, it will need to step up its efforts and deal with increased costs. Japan's participation in the chip blockade further widens the gap between China's military capabilities and those of the US and its allies. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos.